Come here, Bubba. Come here, buddy. Hi, everyone. I am planning on hanging out and answering questions today. I don't know if anybody wants to start asking questions. Go ahead. Let me know you're in here. If no one pops in right away, then I will start talking about something else for a little bit and see if anybody hops on and wants to hang out. How is everybody doing today? Anybody in here want to ask questions? All right, I am live. Okay. Oh, all right. Since no one's in my comments yet, I wanted to talk about something. I filmed videos. Yes, I didn't film videos, but I've filmed videos for a while, so I don't know when I'm going to film videos again, but I had a idea for a topic that I think I may make a video about it, or this may be my video about it. But one of the videos I recorded when I was recording videos was about proving to yourself that the law works and like doing practice manifestations. And something that I thought of that I don't know that I've talked about it before. I'm getting notifications on my phone. Something I don't think I've talked about before is when you're practicing manifesting, practicing choosing your thoughts about situations as they come up. So the example that I want you guys to try as we're heading into holiday season, and this, if you're in the US and Thanksgiving is going to be a time that you are getting together with family, or if it's, in December, all the holidays, whatever is coming up that you're going to be around people. If there is something that you're like, man, every year, this person is always a fucking problem, or this always happens on Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever it is, I want you to start now. Whenever you think about it, you don't have to make it like an obsessive thing or even set time aside to do it. But whenever you think about, oh man, Uncle Jerry, that fucker, every year at Thanksgiving, I want you to catch yourself and start telling yourself something different. Oh my God, we had the perfect Thanksgiving. Or, oh my God, that didn't happen this year. That thing that, you're worried about the holidays is not going to be a problem. And watch what happens when you just choose to focus on things going well instead of them not going well. It's kind of manifesting for like on a time crunch, kind of, but it's just another thing to practice to show you, that your thoughts create what you experience. So let me know if you have questions about that. I may make another video about it. It was just something I thought of that I'm like, man, I don't think I've ever talked about that. And it came up in my life and like prominently a couple weeks ago when I went to the grocery store. I was doing my shopping, minding my business, and I was like feeling good. And then I went kind of to the front of the store and noticed there was this really long line. I just went, oh fuck, I don't want to wait in line. Oh, now I have to wait in line. Like that was my knee-jerk reaction, and that was the tunnel and the rabbit hole I went down and went, fuck, I don't want to wait in line. And then I reminded myself, hey, I'm God. I can manifest whatever I want. And I decided, no, I'm not going to have to wait in line. I'm not going to have to wait in line. I'm not going to have to wait in line. So when I was thinking that, no, I'm not going to have to wait in line. I went and got the rest of my stuff, went up to the front. There was no line. The last person who was getting checked out was walking out the door, and there was no line. Practicing with stuff like that doesn't matter. It's like if I have to wait in line, I have to wait in line. But I didn't allow myself to stew and sulk in the, oh, I'm such a victim, I have to wait in line. I chose what was going to happen and proved to myself that it works. So just something to think about. Hi guys, if you guys want to say hi, say hi. If you have questions, leave them in the chat. Let's hang out for a little bit. I have decided, at least through the month of November, I'm going to go live at this time, so 11 Central, 11 a.m. Central on Saturday mornings through November, and then on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central, are we going back to standard time? Whatever, Central. I was affirming that me and SP would get back together by Halloween, but instead he unfollowed me the day before Halloween. I don't know what happened. Oh, there's a lot of things that could happen from that comment. It's, in particular, Jasmine, were you focusing on like kind of having this like, I really hope this works, I really hope this works? Or were you more in the, yeah, we're gonna spend Halloween together? Because what I have noticed for myself when I try to do time crunch stuff is that I tend to focus on I don't focus on it being done and it happening. I am more worried about if it'll happen when I want it to happen. I'm not saying that that is exactly what happened for you, but you have to remember that it's not the act of affirming that manifests. It is your consistent thoughts. So another thing that could have happened is if you were just affirming, like say you were spending multiple times throughout the day affirming, and then the rest of the day you were worried, like I was saying, about, well, what if it doesn't happen, and what if this, and what if that, then that could be why it didn't happen. I know that you wanted to be together for Halloween. I would just pick myself up, dust myself off, and go back to affirming and get rid of the time. Because like I said, for me, that is, yeah, I think there was a bit of worry involved. Yeah. And a bit of worry is fine. When I say things, I mean it as like predominantly you are going back and telling yourself that things are the way you want them to be. You do not have to be perfect. If you are a little bit worried, that's fine. But when those worry thoughts come up, you have to remind yourself, no, I'm getting what I want. I decided that we're getting back together and things are going to be this way, and that is how they are. And I know that when you are first starting out with this, or it's a topic that seems harder, or you have had problems in the past, that it seems more difficult. But it really does just come back to making the choice of we're together. This is my reality. This is the reality that I am choosing. And then when you start thinking, well, maybe not, and what about that? Nope, we're together. We are together. And remembering your affirmations, like I said, those are your new thoughts. Your affirmations are there so that when you have those worrying moments, you start telling yourself your affirmations, kind of correcting yourself, because at the end of the day, your brain is going to think thoughts, and the thoughts that it's going to think the most are the ones that it is used to. So your affirmations are there to get you used to something different. I just talked about this in a TikTok video I recorded. When you are starting out with this and you haven't experienced it and you're telling yourself something different, I did not believe that it would actually change how I thought. But from my experience, it does. I remember affirming all these things and focusing on all these new things. And this was just more of just like mindset in general kind of stuff, like how I viewed myself and things like that. And like the big one for me was shifting from I hate my life to I love my life, basically that kind of thing. And remembering waking up one morning and literally my affirmations were on autopilot. And it kind of freaked me out because it was so unexpected, number one, and it was so different than the thoughts I usually had in the morning. I was like, holy shit, that's all the affirmations that I have been telling myself. Repetition does work and it does change your mind. Even when you aren't really seeing things change, you will start to have the thoughts that you are affirming being your natural thoughts. But it takes that repetition, and it takes taking those affirmations and using them in the moments that you are doubting, worrying, questioning, that kind of stuff. I hope that was helpful and wasn't too rambly, because I kind of feel like I was just rambling. Anybody else have stuff they want to talk about today? I'm going to start going live on Saturday mornings, at least through November. I don't know what'll happen next month, but that's my plan for now. Saturday mornings and Tuesday evenings. That helped a lot. Thank you. You are so welcome, Jasmine. Yeah, I know you want, you want things by specific dates. I get it. I have just found, especially with something that seems like there's more just attached to it, right? For me, in my experience, it just makes it so much harder. And when you shift the focus to we're together, we're so happy, and then when things happen, even things you don't like, this is the big one, the things that you feel like are a slap in the face, you have to remind yourself, I made the decision, this is what is going to happen, this is what is happening, and I don't understand why, but this is part of me getting where I want to go. This is where people talk about you can't control the how. And part of that, and part of letting go of the how, is realizing that if you are doing the inner work and you are affirming and you are focusing on having what you want, then anything that happens in front of your face is getting you where you want to go. Even if logically it seems like the exact opposite. I have had this happen, and for me, some people will look at the 3D and be like, it's just an old manifestation. And if that works for you, then use that. For me, I just look at it as I am doing the work that I need to do. So anything that I am experiencing, whether I like it or not, must be how I get where I want to go. And that doesn't mean you can't have your human moments and be like, holy shit, it's all going to hell. What the hell's going on? Have your little hissy fit, your little pity party, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back to it. And decide, because everything in your life is meaningless. What you are experiencing is meaningless until you put meaning to it. Decide that for somehow, some way, him blocking you is you guys getting back together and being happy. Anybody else have any questions this morning? I'm curious, anybody on here have does anybody on here enjoy doing time crunch manifesting? Is that, not that I'm saying that you can't do it or that it's necessarily harder to do, but if it is a added obstacle of something that you are trying to convince yourself it will happen, you are not helping yourself get where you want to go. And if you want to be good at time crunch manifesting, I'm so good at manifesting on a time crunch. I always get what I want when I want it. But again, to me, I think that manifestation, the biggest thing that people need to understand is that you need to do what is best for you. And if you find that what you are doing is creating extra resistance for no reason, then you need to be honest with yourself and see if there is a way that you could do it that is going to feel better to you and be easier for you. Because the easier it is for you to focus on having what you want, the sooner you're going to get it and the faster things are going to fall into place. This is where I talk about manifesting in steps. Instead of going for the marriage, they texted me or something like that. Something that is more doable for you to focus on. I don't like manifesting on a time crunch unless I have to. I feel the same way. It adds a layer that I don't like it. And I know that at the end of the day, that's an assumption, but if I need to manifest on a time crunch, okay, let's go. But choosing that it feels like more work to me, and I'm really not into working. It's like if something feels like work, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be really resentful of it, And at the end of the day, we have always been manifesting. It is how we function in the world. Now we're learning to do it in a way that benefits us and is what we want instead of just, running off of old shit. It's supposed to be fun. I don't like it. It feels like it makes it harder to believe it'll happen. The reason I was doing it on a time crunch was because he said he was moving away. He's not moving away. Who cares if he's moving away? Even if he did move away, it's, again, part of your bridge of incidents, your unfolding, you getting what you want. Again, if you are doing the work, you don't get to choose how your manifestation shows up. I know that sounds like, but him moving is the exact opposite. How could that possibly be part of me getting what I want? I don't know. That's part of the fun and the surprise of manifesting. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, people say that, have talked about, you are the writer, director, actor in your movie, right? Well, the most interesting movies are the ones that have the twists and turns you're not expecting. And that is manifesting. If you are focused on the ending that you want, and that's where you're going to get, then whatever shenanigans have to happen, are you getting where you want to go? Because you are the one that is the writer, director, actor of your movie. So as long as you keep telling yourself the ending that you are going toward is this one, it will happen. And that's where coming up with a way to look at what is happening that works for you. And that, for me, has helped a lot to just be like, okay, I know the situation, I know it, and to me and to anybody else would look like what I want isn't working and it's not going to happen, but somehow it is working and I am going to get what I want, because I always get what I want. Because I am too good at this and it works every time. And that's where something that, I don't know if I was talking about it already, but with your affirmations, people who use like one affirmation to completely change a topic in their world, in their life, they use that one affirmation like, we're so happy together. Anything that they think about, so, oh, he's moving away. No, we're so happy together. So he's not moving away because we are so happy together. That can't possibly be a thing because we are so happy together. Oh, what if he doesn't like that I do XYZ? Nope, we are so happy together, so that shit doesn't matter. that is how they use those affirmations, those robotic affirmations, to change all of it. Well, what if I'm not good enough for, no, I got that job, so obviously I'm good enough. That is how that works. It's not just saying the affirmation, it's getting rid of all of your opposing bullshit to the thing you want. So the relationship, yourself in regards to this relationship, relationships in general, and your other person, and being in a relationship with your other person. You got to get rid of any of those objections. And if you can do that with "we are so happy together," that's how that works. I've been manifesting my person and a job. Had an accident and shut my foot in my uncle's front door, and now I'm stuck in a walking boot until the end of November. Oh my goodness. Tiffany, revise that shit. I never slammed my foot in the door. I don't know what you're talking about. I never know. That never happened. That never happened. My foot healed so quickly. They let me take the boot off early. They let me take the boot off early. This feels like a setback. It's not a setback. Stop saying that one. I get you. I get you, but it's not. I have had a lot of things come up lately that it's like, man, this feels like a setback. This feels like it's not working. What am I doing wrong? Had to remind myself, nope, this is me getting what I want. I don't understand why. And now that I'm on the other side of it, it's like, I see why now. I see why now, but I did not allow myself to spiral and continuously think. Now, like I said, you're going to have your moments. You're human. It's not about perfection, but it is about choosing. I am in the reality where I have my relationship and I have my job, and somehow, some way, this is me getting what I want. This is me getting what I want. And my foot healed so fast. It healed so fast. I just did this with my dog. If you haven't seen the videos of me lately, he has a degenerative back problem. I actually have a video coming out this week where I talk about the past with him, all the circumstances. He hurt his back on a Sunday night. Monday, we got medicine. Tuesday, he started to lose the ability to walk in his back legs. Then Wednesday was not able to walk at all. He couldn't stand up on his back legs because of the pressure on his spine. Took him to my vet because I'm like, something is wrong with these anti-inflammatories. Went to the vet. They were like, well, that anti-inflammatory doesn't have a steroid and he needs one with steroid. So we got the new medicine, but I couldn't just switch him from one to the other. So they're like, for 3 days, here's some painkillers. But knowing what he has, it is the pressure on his spine, and he needs the anti-inflammatory to possibly get the pressure off his spine so he could walk. Gave him the painkiller, and the next morning he was walking and has been walking fine ever since. Because in my imagination, he was running around and walking. Very beautiful. Do you have an Instagram? Well, thank you. I do not have an Instagram. I am not on Instagram. But Tiffany, it's not a setback. I know it feels like one. I know it can look like one. I get it, but just keep focusing on having what you want and telling yourself that somehow this is a blessing in disguise. This is me getting what I want. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to really accept it. You just have to be like, nope, this is me getting what I want. I don't know how. I don't know why. But it's working out. It always works out. I always get what I want. Anybody else have any questions? I feel like I've just been blabbering a lot this like entire life. So hopefully something I'm saying makes sense to somebody and is helpful. At the end of the day, the key to manifesting is choosing how you are going to view things. That's it. That's what it is. And like I said, you don't get to decide how things are going to show up. So taking a step back and deciding that whatever is happening is getting you where you want to go, is going to get you where you want to go so much faster. It's the questioning and the doubting and the worrying and all that that makes it take longer. And not that, like I said, it has to be perfect, but when you do catch yourself, reminding yourself who you are, how this works, and that you're going to get what you want. Thanks. My person surprised me last night with some homemade spaghetti. It was nice because I didn't have to cook. Ooh, nice. I love that. See, it is you getting what you want. Hi, Moons. What's up with you? I decided to go live sitting on the floor so my dog could come hang out with me, and then he decided he doesn't want to hang out with me, so now I'm just sitting on the floor by myself. As he's over in his bed, like chewing on his foot. How are you? I'm amazing. How are you? Anyone else have manifestation things you want to talk about? I'm good. Awesome. Ooh, you did a November list? That's fun. Have you gotten any movement on anything yet? Or did you like just do that? And everything on my list manifested. Super fun. Have you done that before? A few days ago? Nice. See, there are so many ways. Hi, Brittany. There are so many ways to manifest, you guys. Do what works for you. Let go of the rest and just tell yourself that it's always working, that you're doing it right, that you're going to get what you want. Make it easy. Make it easy. You did it before? Hi. but I wasn't focused on. Anyone have any topics they want to talk about today? Until I looked at the list one day and realized everything on it manifested. Laugh out loud. That's awesome. I love that. The set it and forget it. That's awesome. So were you telling yourself that like everything on your list manifested, or did you just literally write it and then just let it go? So much rain in London. Oh no. It's not raining here. It got really cold and now we're going back to it being warm. I can't decide if it's fall or summer these last past days. I wrote it and forgot about it. That's so fun. That is so fun. I love when manifesting is just easy. But this time I'm actively affirming for the list. Nice. So are you putting bigger stuff on your list? Ooh, yes, a new flat. Nice. I can't wait to see how that manifests. Me too. Hi, Kit Beans. How are you doing today? What's going on? Not much. Just hanging out, answering manifestation questions for a bit. Sitting on the floor wanting to spend time with my dog while I did this because he was pissed off at me, and then I came and set up on the floor and now he doesn't want anything to do with me. You know, dog things. I think part of the reason I hate this so much is because my foot throws me a bit off balance. And as a blind person, it's not a good combo. Yeah, that's not a good combo. That is not a good combo. Like I said, though, revise it. When you think about your foot, that never happened. My foot's fully healed. My foot is healed. Go back. You can, instead of imagining the moment when you slammed your foot in the door, just imagine that that didn't happen. You walked through the door and were perfectly okay. Or you can just focus on my foot healed so fast. I can walk perfectly. Everything in my life is perfect. I always get what I want. Because back to my puppy dog, he's had back problems in the past, and it took him months to regain the ability for him to walk, and it took days. It took days. How's Jax? He's doing good. He's being a punk. He's ignoring me because I came upstairs and was filming some videos for TikTok without being involved with him, and now he's angry. So he's just ignoring me and chewing on his foot for no reason. Hi, Sonja. Your content is very helpful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, dogs are so smart, Moons. They are so smart. I'm so glad my content is helpful. Sonja? I hope I did not pronounce that wrong. Yeah. Fermi is in a good mood. Yeah. He'll be in a good mood later. He's like, he has his routine and he wants me to do things in a specific order. And if I don't do it in that specific order, he gets mad, which I know I need to change that assumption. I promise it will work. I know it will. I know it will. It always does. I just let him be in his little mood. I'm like, whatever. If you don't want to come sit with me, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just sit here on the floor by myself. What kind of dog is he? He's a Sealyham Terrier. I bet he's spoiled. Oh, yeah, he is so spoiled. So spoiled. Like I said, he has a routine. Like, if things don't happen in a specific order, then he gets in a mood. So, yeah, he's definitely spoiled. He's got me trained very well. He's a master manifester at getting me to do what he wants. How cute. I have a Yorkshire Terrier, a Yorkie. Oh, Yorkies. They're super cute too. Could you tell more about how you realized you were the creator and how it changed your life? I've made a lot of videos on that. I have like an hour plus, it's about an hour video on my journey and how when I found Sammy Ingram and affirmations and that it is your thoughts and how you think, that was when things started to change for me. And as I started to play with choosing my thoughts and affirming, that was when things started to change. And then from there, so many things happened that it's like, well, obviously it's not a coincidence. To the point where I said, I don't believe in coincidences. So then it's definitely not a coincidence. And the only other explanation is I'm in control of all of it. And then once I started telling myself that, you start seeing how that is true, which means that the law is always working and that everything is you. Everything is you. Your experience is you. Your thoughts are your reality. And so if you change the way you view things, the outside will prove you're right. And also, the more that you tell yourself something different, the more that will be your automatic perspective and what you expect yourself to think, and you'll start seeing situations through that mindset. And then those old thoughts become weird. As weird as it is to affirm the new thoughts now, the old thoughts, the ones that you're currently used to thinking, will start to feel weird. Oh, another thing I manifested, aka on my list, was my hair to be longer and healthier. That's fun. That's super fun. Yeah, I've always had a belief that my hair grows super fast, and it has always been true. So when I decided to cut my hair off, I think it was like in September, I was like, it'll grow so fast and be curly before you know it. And here it is. Look at the curls starting to come back. Part of also how I realized that I'm the creator and how to manifest was just nice. I know, right, Moons? But part of how I figured it out was just I never gave up. I found manifesting, and somehow I knew I was meant to understand it, and I just kept learning about it. What do you think about feeling it real and feeling when it comes to manifesting that it's bullshit? That what Neville was actually talking about was feeling it real in your imagination? The more I've done it now and the more I have shifted my life to being in a better place, I do see where you can feel it real in your imagination and have the emotional feelings that you would have if you had the thing now. But when I first started, I couldn't do that. And I was in Law of Attraction where I had a Law of Attraction coach teaching me, well, it's the feelings, and I could not feel it real. I was a fucking disaster. I had really bad anxiety. I was constantly stressed. I always worried. My thoughts were a fucking disaster, and I wasn't doing anything to change those. So my feelings couldn't change because your feelings are a manifestation of your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, eventually, just like your 3D, your body is in the 3D. Your imagination is your true reality. The only thing that exists is now. So whatever you're telling yourself right now is true and is real, even though it doesn't feel or look like it. But if you continuously tell yourself, not like obsessively, like every thought has to be that way, but if you tell yourself that that's what is happening and where you are and where you are going, your body and the rest of your physical world will catch up to it. So I don't think it is. I honestly dropped the whole feeling thing. In my experience, it doesn't matter how you feel. Have you ever dyed your hair? Yes, I was bleaching my hair, and if you go back to my early YouTube videos, my hair was bleached platinum blonde, and I had blue bangs. And it started growing out, and my hair was super damaged and like nasty, and I'm like, just cut it all off. So if you go to my TikTok and like later in my YouTube's videos, you'll see my hair got real short. And that's why, because I just wanted to cut it off. Facts, the body is the 3D too. Yep. I think we forget that. Like, our body is part of the 3D. I definitely prefer the law of assumption. Yeah, me too. Me too, Tiffany. Oh my God. Oh, my law of attraction days. I spent over 4 years in law of attraction-y stuff before I ever found the law of assumption. And then it was another almost year before I totally made the shift from law of attraction to law of assumption. And that was the best decision I ever made. That's why I don't focus on how I feel, except what I constantly tell myself. Yeah, when I don't feel good and I don't know what to affirm or what to tell myself, that's where I go to Isn't It Wonderful? And that is the tool I wish I would have had back in the day. My law of attraction coach, their constant thing was being like, you have to feel your feelings. So I had it in my head that the reason I wasn't getting my shit was because I haven't felt enough feelings and was on this goddamn emotional roller coaster. And the way I got myself out of that was that when I don't feel good, it's fine. It's just a feeling, and focusing on isn't it wonderful? Because like I said, my anxiety and stuff was so bad. So bad. Trying to, not in a toxic way. I also release my emotions. Yeah, in a healthy way. Exactly. It's just like, I still feel my feelings. I allow myself to be angry. It's just, as much as I can in my head, I'm going to focus on things being the way I want them to be. And even if I have a moment or whatever, like with Jax's back, I had a moment where it wasn't going so well, and I didn't judge myself for that. I think that's the bigger thing. In your videos, your bleached hair actually looked very good. I know, I watched those videos back and was like, I kind of miss my bleached hair, but it was damaged and just gross. And I'm in Texas and it was hot, and I'm like, just cut it off. I'm that's how I am with my hair. I've had hair when I was a kid, it was like down to my ass. And then like the most recent time I had long hair, when it was straight, it was like down to here. And one day I just was like, I want to cut it all off. Done with this. It's what I do. My safety net affirmation is everything works in my favor. Yep. That's a good one too. I that was something that has helped me so much, having that go-to affirmation. I use isn't it wonderful? You could use everything's perfect or everything works in my favor. Just one affirmation that when you're not sure what to tell yourself, you can go back to isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? If something doesn't happen, I just say everything works in my favor. It always does. Yep. Also, do you manifest subscribers? I do. I've manifested everything with my YouTube channel. I have not followed the rules at all with my YouTube channel. If you have noticed, I don't even put thumbnails on my YouTube videos anymore. I was making thumbnails for all my videos, and then I saw somebody else who just like has pictures, and I'm like, YouTube gives you just three pictures to pick from for your thumbnail. So I just pick one and I'm like, that's my thumbnail. And I'm going to get subscribers. Everyone knows who I am. Yes. A unique YouTuber. Yes, I am a unique YouTuber. I'm the exception. It doesn't matter that, the rules. I truly believe that the algorithms on social media work the way that the people believe they work. Not that they aren't like trying to get things out to people, but I have seen so many different people's opinion on like how to be successful on social media that I'm like, I'm just gonna make up my own way and decide it works. I finally found the right manifestation coach a week before I found the one I've been following now. I started affirming that I found the right coach at an affordable price. Exactly. You made the decision and you stuck to it and it showed up. That's how it works. It's how it works. And I know that when you're first starting out, it may not seem like that could be how it works. And when you have those topics that feel harder, that it may not seem like that's how it works, but that's how it works. So I don't really have to focus on specific thoughts about my SP to get the different version of him. I could just use my life is perfect because he would be showing up right if my life was perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I believe that is you, Christina, is it not? You could focus on, that's the if you've never heard the story of Isn't It Wonderful? Yes, ma'am. I remembered. I'm like, I remember. I know who that is. But the story that Neville has in one of his books about Isn't It Wonderful? The lady who didn't believe it would work was going to Neville's lectures. I've read this story in one of my lives that's on YouTube here at the beginning. But she didn't believe that she could, change her life, but she would go to Neville's lectures. She needed everything to change in her life. Heard somebody talk about telling themselves things were wonderful, decided that things were wonderful, and just would tell herself that, and then her entire life changed. The beginning of the story starts with, I thought fairy tales weren't real and were only for children. I had no idea they were actually real, and this is what happened. So yeah, you do not have to focus on specifics if you don't want to. Again, the law works however you think it works. So just decide, if I tell myself that everything's perfect, it's going to work. I always myself that everything I am doing is working for me and that I'm doing everything right. Yeah, that's a big one that I think that everybody needs to add into their repertoire of affirmations, as well as something telling themselves that they know exactly what they're doing. They understand the law. Mine, because I couldn't, using being a master at manifesting didn't feel good. So I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it. Because my brain needed a lot, but it worked. I figured it out. Because we are always right. We are always right. That goes back to that being the creator. What you are telling yourself is your experience in the now, because all that exists is the now. If you are having a memory of the past, you are having it in the now. So you can change it because now is now and you are not experiencing that anymore. When it comes to the future doesn't exist, but the now does. So you can think about anything how you want to now, and that is what manifests. It will be proven to you to be true. Yep. I've been doing the constant contact for a month, and only getting a ton of birds before land has bothered me so much. I'm trying so hard not to let the 3D bother me after using the law of assumption for 3 years. You're getting birds. You're getting birds and deciding it's not good enough. You're deciding that you're trying to control the how is what you're doing, I think. Because, and I've noticed this recently in myself, and this is why I have shifted this. You have to decide that what is happening in your 3D, if you are doing all of the work, all of the up here shit, then you have to decide that what is happening in front of you is you getting what you want. It is everything working the way you want it to work. Things are happening, getting me where I want to go. Even if you don't understand it, even if you don't like it, even if it's the exact opposite of what you think it should be, or it feels like it's taking you in an opposite direction, if you are focusing on what you want and you are doing the work and you are telling yourself that things are going to be the way you want them to be, you have to assume that what's happening is working. And that's where you look at the birds and be like, it is working because I'm getting partial manifestations and signs that it's working. I've seen proof with so many other things and constantly working on my self-concept. Laugh out loud. I have a video for you coming on TikTok about how you're like, one of your comments about you're still looking for what you need to fix in your self-concept. I think that's your problem, is you feel like there's still something to fix. The boss is always right. Exactly, Tiffany, and you are the boss. You're the boss. Do you think some manifestations take years to unfold? That does not matter what I believe on that one. Love weirdo, it depends on what you believe on that one. Because your reality is going to be based off of your beliefs. So if you believe or think or tell yourself, well, that would take a year or years to happen, you're going to be proven right. Nope. I agree. Time isn't real, so it takes, as long as you are doing what you are, the work you need to do, telling yourself things are the way they need to be, let the rest go. It could happen like that. But again, it comes down to what you believe. And if you don't like the belief that you currently have, change it. I get everything I want instantly and effortlessly. I get everything I want quickly and easily. Nothing takes me more than 3 days to manifest. You can create those beliefs just like you can create any other belief. It's all up to you. I manifest instantly. Exactly. I only have to affirm once and I get my shit. Try it. Again, you put the rules to it. You put all the rules to it. So how does it work for you? And if you don't like the answer that comes to mind because that's where you currently are, you can change it. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing. The only thing that is constant is your thoughts, and how you think about things will create your reality. They are what you are experiencing. It's like gravity. It's always kind of there. The sun comes up and sets at night. It's how it works. I definitely tell myself it's working when I see birds, but I also consistently tell myself I'm perfect and my life is perfect, but my SP stuff is so annoying. It can't be annoying and be perfect at the same time, so you gotta drop that shit. I know you want it now. I know you've been doing it for a long time, but now, look at it this way. Since you've been, like, that was all the unfolding, and now it's finally, eventually, you went on this long journey, it's happening now. I think of the Lord of the Rings. It's like, they decided they needed to go to Mordor to get rid of the ring. Eventually, they had to get to Mordor because they were making movement toward it constantly, right? Looking for the validation in your mind. Yeah, SP was the easiest thing for me to manifest. It happened so fast. I also don't know why it's bothering me so much. I would ask yourself why it's bothering you so much. Because at the base of that is probably the problem of why it hasn't manifested. Hi girl, how old are you? Why do you need to know that? I know that most manifestation coaches will just tell you, pick the new thoughts and stick with them. But if something keeps coming up like this, I would ask myself where it's coming from, because where that is coming from is something that you need to address, and it could be just that little shift that makes everything else fall into place. Sonja, do you have a law of assumption routine? It changes day to day. I am much more about just being present and choosing my thoughts as the day goes. It's just easier for me. It feels like it makes me feel not good enough, but maybe I just need more time with the I am perfect thoughts. I would say you need to start telling yourself that you're more than good enough. If it's all stemming from not being good enough, you need to start telling yourself that you're good enough or that you're more than good enough. Because if you hold that belief that you aren't good enough and that you're not going to be chosen and that this isn't going to work out because you are not enough in some way, that's the problem. And you're trying to, not that you couldn't shift it with everything's perfect, but if that's the root of the problem, if you get rid of the root of the problem, it'll change a lot more. I've been sharing with clients, there's a talk on YouTube that Marissa Peer did for Mind Valley where she's talking about I am enough. She's a therapist, a hypnotherapist, and she talks about in that talk how the number one problem that she sees with clients all across the board is not feeling that they are enough. And that by telling themselves, I am enough, it can change your entire life. If you keep moving, you eventually have to get wherever you're going. Exactly, Tiffany. If you have your destination in mind and you're moving, you're getting there. It may not look like you're getting there, but you're getting there. And I'll tell you that from experience. So I live in Texas. I'm from Colorado, so I've driven from Texas to Colorado many times. And if you ever know anybody who drives through Texas, it's a whole lot of nothing. And it's a ginormous state. So you drive for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of pretty much nothing, feeling like you're really getting nowhere. But that whole time you are moving. And it's the same with manifestation. It may not look like it's moving, nothing's changing, but it is. And the more you focus on changing yourself, that's all there is to change is self, the way that you are viewing things. I personally do what I feel like. Yeah, me too, Moons. I used to have more of a routine, but I just trust that I'm doing it right, that I'm doing enough, that this works for me every time. And I've had so many manifestations, like what I was talking about at the very beginning of this video, things where it's like, man, I really don't, like it just happened with me this last week. My dad was like, would you come, he's in printing and a couple of the people working with him, I've worked with him before, are going out of town, and he's like, would you come help if we need an extra person? I was like, sure. And that felt like a good answer in the moment. And then as I got closer, I was like, I really don't want to. I wish I would have said no. Why did I do that? And so instead of getting pissed off or getting angry at myself or being worried about going or, God damn it, I don't want to do that, I just decided they don't need me. I'm not going to go. They don't need me, whatever. Somehow I'm getting out of going. I don't have to go. And that is exactly what happened. So the more I have done those kind of manifestations where I didn't sit down and pick an affirmation or have a set time and a whole routine around getting what I wanted. It was literally me just deciding they're not going to need me. And then whenever the thoughts came up of, well, I'm going to have to do that, and I don't know if I want to do that, and no, they don't need me. And it worked. It always works. And the more you do that, like I always go back to something huge that was a light bulb moment for me was when I was like, we have been manifesting our whole life, which means that the way that I naturally think and how I naturally function in the world my whole life until manifesting worked perfectly. Now I just need to focus the attention to what I want instead of just whatever the fuck my brain wants to go to. Your thoughts today will be the things you will experience in your tomorrow if you do not waver. I agree. And I don't even think I think that wavering, there's so many different layers to wavering, but you can have opposing thoughts to it. Trust me, I thought against it. My brain threw at me, oh, you have to go, work with your dad next week. And I just was like, yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, but no, I don't. No, I don't. Did I feel like that was what was going to happen? No. Did I just keep going back to the decision that they didn't need me? Yeah. And then things unfolded in a way that I'm not going, so I got what I wanted. I want that feeling of nonchalant toward my SP the way I have it towards everything else that happens so quickly for me. Then decide that, again, my SP is the easiest thing to manifest. Another thing you could do is start telling yourself, my SP is manifesting me. I don't have to do all the work because he's manifesting me. I'm everything he's ever wanted. So it's done. SP is manifesting me. And decide that you can have that nonchalantness toward it. Again, this is the easiest thing for me to manifest. Of course, SP's mine. Who else would they want to be with? They can't stand to be away from me. When we understand we have been manifesting our whole life, we understand not to take our past too personal. Yeah. Yep. And that's any part of your past. Recent past, far away past. You get to view how you're going to view all of it. Manifested him to get me kittens a couple months after I found Sammy in 2021, and it's kept me going. So I'm like, hey, come on, this man is mine. He is yours. He is yours. I am enough. I am everything he has ever wanted. I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. We are so happy together. That is the you that you are now. And when you question it, nope, we're so happy together. I love our relationship. This works better than with other things. SP was the easiest thing to manifest. If you aren't ready for him yet, he ain't going nowhere until he is in a relationship with me. He ain't going to anyone else. He is mine, completely mine. We are so happy together. Turns out he was manifesting me too. I would also stop focusing on, well, I've been doing this for years. Why isn't it working yet? Partially because you feel like there's a reason it's not working. You're seeing the birds, things are happening, and then you're judging why it hasn't happened yet. Circumstances don't matter. He is only going to do what you think he is going to do. Yeah, he's going to be in a relationship with you. It's all he thinks about is being in a relationship with me. He just loves me so much. So be careful and work on your self-concept. Yeah, I think it sounds like you are avoiding doing the I am enough, Christina. But because at the base of, if you are working on I have the perfect relationship, and you are working on thinking of him the way that you want him to be in your relationship and with you, then the other things that you need to focus on is how you feel in yourself and how you feel about relationships. Because if there's something that is a generalization about any of those topics that you are still holding on to, it is going to be a problem. So should I do I am enough more than I am perfect? It's not about doing one more than the other. It's just reminding yourself that when you are having thoughts about like why you're not together or why that wouldn't happen or whatever, being like, no, I am perfect. If I am perfect works for you and I am enough fits into that, then that's fine. But if you need that extra of reminding yourself, no, I am enough, then you need to add that in there and use it when you need to. So no, you're a master at manifesting. The amount of knowledge you have on manifesting is amazing. Always look forward to your videos. Oh, thank you, Moons. Yeah, I have done a lot of learning on manifesting. That's why I'm literally obsessed with it. I love learning about manifesting. I have never loved learning about manifesting. Like I've never loved anything like this, and I've always wanted to help people. That has always been my desire since I was a kid. I just didn't know how to do that, and like it all came together. All the things I've ever wanted have come together because I found manifesting in my darkest fucking moment and would not give up on it. I feel the same way. I'm telling you, part of where it came from was just deciding I understand this. I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it. Manifesting is very literal. What you tell yourself consistently will become true. So whenever I started to doubt, whenever I started to question, no, I know everything there is to know and I fully understand it. I know what I'm doing. Making that decision. Again, it comes back to the decision. This is me now. And then when your thoughts start telling you otherwise, nope, that can't possibly be true because I know what I'm doing. I have the answers. And that right there is how you manifest anything. That was my other thing. That was I felt like there was different ways to manifest different things because it feels so different. But at the end of the day, it's all the same. It's all the same. You decide what you want and you tell yourself you have it. Now you may need to do a little bit of a process a little bit differently depending on the topic, but that just is based on your old shit. Yes, oh my God, I was like that, yeah. That's a good thing about affirmations. You can customize them, absolutely. Affirmations are just thoughts and you can think, if you can think it in your head, it is possible. The key is to choose that. Of all the things you could be thinking, you choose that one. The other thing I had to realize and learn on my journey is that worrying does nothing. I worried my whole life about everything. I was an anxious disaster area because I was always worried. Once I realized that it is your thoughts that create, I had to drop that. Why am I going to sit here and worry? Which it was a hard habit to break. It was a habit. I had a habit of worrying. I had a habit of thinking a lot of shitty things, but I had to break those habits because I wanted to experience something different. Now I understand everything is the same to manifest. Yeah, creation is finished. That's exactly it. Hi, Lori. Our only job is to change our thoughts to align with reality we want. Exactly. You are, things happen. Quantum physics. Yeah, the observer effect. You can only observe one thing. Your present moment is all that's real. Whatever you are observing is real to you in this moment. And whatever you focus on and how you perceive things changes where you're going and changes the past. It seems like we're moving forward, back to that Lord of the Rings example, like you're moving towards something in that way, but you're really not. You're really not. And the more that you practice this and do it, you'll start to see it and trust it. And I feel like the way that you get the most and will learn the most is from doing it and applying it and then taking your wins and looking back at, okay, I was affirming in this way and I was affirming this much and this is how I was thinking and that kind of stuff. And that's where I learned the most. Sonja, can I feel it? I can feel it. The success stories this month are going to be through the roof. Hell yes. I have been affirming all the success stories that I get. So there's some birds right there. Thank you, Moons. I've been scripting a little bit lately because I got to a point where when I first got on YouTube, I knew I wanted to be on YouTube. I didn't know exactly what that looked like. And I have basically just gone off of like it's going to grow and things are going to happen the way I want them to, things are just going to grow. And then I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm really unclear of where I'm going. So I've been scripting. And one of the things that I script is I have thousands of success stories. So that's so funny. Yeah, exactly, Moons. So birds. I honestly just want to get this information to as much people as possible, make it easy for people because so many people made it so hard for me when it is so fucking simple. It is so simple, but because it is changing you and breaking a lot of old habits, it seems really hard. When I clicked on the live stream, I kept seeing in my head the word success story. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, guys, I got about 10 more minutes before I gotta jump off of here. I do have a client in a little bit, so I need to get ready for that. But I got about 10 more minutes. I am gonna start going live Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I think we're going back to Standard, not daylight. I don't know. Central Time in the US. So I have them all scheduled in my YouTube through the month of November. I don't know what December will bring, but that's what I'm going to do this month. So if you want to come hang out, I will be live same time next weekend and then Tuesday night. Seems strange, I know. Yeah. Oh, it's not strange. You're giving me premonitions. You had to give me my birds, Moons. My subconscious is like, somebody needs to tell Sonja that she's gonna have success stories. I really am fascinated by this stuff, and the more that I play with it and the more I learn about myself and the more I realize and wake up and experience new things. Like I decided to go back and start rereading Neville Goddard's books and rereading them from now, from when I first read them. It's just like, wow. I thought I understood, but now I really get this. Like I understand what he was saying because I've experienced it more. And if my knowledge can help other people, that is all that I truly want, is to be the person that I wish I would have found. I got most of my knowledge of law of assumption from YouTube. Me too. Me too. I've read Neville, I've read Florence, I've read Joseph Murphy. I've read other manifesting books, but a lot of my understanding of it came from YouTube. It's ridiculous. Maybe I need to read the books. Hey, if it's working for you, I don't think you need to do anything. And I think that that's part of where we get ourselves caught up too, is feeling like we need to know more. If you found what works for you, run with it. I haven't read any law of assumption books. That's awesome though. Like, think about that. You manifested getting all the knowledge you needed from YouTube. Reading The Law and The Promise helps because it's easier to digest. Most of his books give me a headache and sound confusing. Yeah, I felt the same way, especially the first time I read them. Now I'm reading it very slowly and letting it like really sink in, and I'm like, wow, this actually makes sense now. I'm like, if all of it is thinking as if that version, then why is so many books? Laugh out loud. The thing I remember from reading Neville's books the first time around was that I was like, wow, you can really see how he progressed as a teacher, and like his later books have like success stories and stuff in them. But yeah, even Neville, from when he first was learning, was still learning and understanding what was possible. I love Neville, but the feeling is the secret caused so much confusion. I swear people just saw the fucking title of that book and just decided, oh, it must be the feeling. And since whatever you tell yourself is true, they believed that they were manifesting from their feelings, so it was true for them, not realizing that the reason it was true was because of this. Because I have manifested too much shit feeling like crap that it is not your feelings that manifest. People on YouTube were constantly quoting him. Yeah, I mean, I can see why people misunderstood what he was saying. But at the same time, it's like, why don't you actually understand what you're talking about before you just regurgitate information you clearly don't understand? Because, like I said, until you have your own experiences with it, you don't understand it. You cannot understand it until you've experienced it. You can like digest it, but until you are using it and you see it in your own life, it is so hard to explain it to people. And to like really, I can speak from my experience, and I know like old me hearing stories and stuff, it's like, do I really believe this? Is that really possible? Did they really do that? Or are they just saying, that kind of shit? And it comes down to you doing the work and proving it to yourself. I have seen some crazy stuff with the law of assumption. Yeah. Yep. And every day I feel like I go deeper and deeper with it. I'm more confident in things that I have just accepted being the way they are and hadn't really thought about changing them, because it's just like, oh, that's how it is. Now it's like, I could change that, and I could play with that, and that doesn't have to be true anymore, and that never was real, and I don't like that, so I'm not going to think that anymore. And now I feel like a mystic princess. It's ridiculous. I love that. That's my new affirmation. I'm a mystic princess. It is. Magic and miracles are real, you guys. It is real, but you have to allow yourself. I don't even want to say to believe it. You have to be open to it. If you are open to it and you can tell yourself that it's real, you're going to get proof that it is. I feel special. We should all feel special. We all are special. My perfume is called Mystical Misfit, and it's so fitting. I love that so much. That's amazing. That is amazing. This is what happens when you practice the law of assumption and don't give up. Yeah, you can't give up. You cannot give up, because as soon as you give up, That's when you fail. That's the only way you can fail, is giving up. My coach compares learning about this stuff to peeling an onion because you never stop learning and discovering and realizing how powerful you are. Yeah, I 100% agree. It really is. It truly is. Discovering more and more about yourself and what is happening, and it is like an onion. And the more that you can just be okay with where you are right now and knowing that what you are doing is getting you where you want to go is a huge shift. Is a huge shift. But I know that when stuff sucks and you just want it to change, and like, I know I was there, and I hated hearing that. But the more that you can work on being like, okay, things are like this right now, but I'm doing what I need to do to get out of it, and you're actually choosing to think differently, it will change. I promise you. Is it possible to manifest SP in days? Depends on what you think. Padka? I probably am saying your name wrong. Depends on what you think. Your reality is based off of your assumptions. So can you manifest SP in days? Because that is your answer. Now, if you don't like your answer, you can change your answer, but whatever you believe is possible is possible. I believe everything is possible, but me believing everything is possible does not help you if you do not believe or tell yourself. It's not even believing, it's literally just telling yourself that it's possible. That's what makes it possible. You are saying it right. Thanks. You are so welcome. And I'm glad I said it right. I'm always just like, I'm going to take a shot at people's names and they can correct me if I'm wrong. Everyone is going to feel amazing if they don't give up. Yep. Your coaching is closed right now. My coaching is back open, actually. It is open. I think I have all the stuff in the description of the live. If not, it's on my email. Just send me an email and I can... it's on the descriptions of my newer videos if you want to go look at that. I think I put it on this one. I don't remember. I was like, I want to go live more. I'm like, I think I want to go live Saturday mornings. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like setting it up in YouTube and I'm like, I want to go live Tuesday nights too. So I set it all up and I don't even remember if I put descriptions on these videos. I think I did. And I think it's in the description. But if it isn't, it's on my new videos and I will put it on this one by the time I upload it after I get off of here. All right, I'm going to go last call for questions because I do have a call here in a minute that I need to get on. But like I said, I'll be live Tuesday nights and Saturday mornings. It was nice catching up with you, Sonja. It was nice catching up with you too, Moons. I missed you the past couple times I went live. Like, I'm here all alone. Always learning something new. Yay, I love that. Me too, I will tell you. Me too. And as soon as I learn or figure something out or have some aha moment, I love nothing more than being able to come on here and share it with other people. All right, you guys, if there are no other questions, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. Like I said, I will be back live Tuesday night, 6 p.m. standard in the US. If you want to come hang out then, it's already done. It is already done. We all have everything we've ever wanted. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. Love and light.